Hey guys, what's going on? Drewzy back again, and we're back on PVE here in today's episode, because as you can see down below me, I have finally surpassed level 55, which if you guys haven't gotten through level 55 is one of the harder Grand Wizard Cartman battles that you're going to have to go through throughout your course of PVE gameplay. This was a tough fight, guys. I finally established a deck for myself that really works, and two key range cards are included in that, which of course is Gunslinger Kyle and Buccaneer Bebe, which Buccaneer Bebe was in the most recent event that took place in this game as I'm recording this. So she has been huge for PvE as far as getting through the levels because of her ability. But I'm going to actually go through real quick and continue to play on through the story mode. So as you see, I'm on to level 58. So, because I've seen in some of the comments that some people have asked about PvE strategies to get past Grand Wizard Cartman, I believe, at level 50, which was a tough part for me as well. This deck I think will really work well, but I'm going to show you some gameplay first, and then I'm going to go ahead and talk about the deck and give you some tips for the deck itself. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you're a current subscriber and you've been checking out the channel, thank you guys for continuing to support me. You guys have been amazing. I really do appreciate all of the support I've gotten so far. So I'm going to kind of just show the deck here a little bit before I actually talk about it, like I said. So let's just go ahead and get into the fight here. As you see, quite a bit of enemies that are kind of coming at me. I'm going to see if I can't stop everything that's kind of coming at me. So one of the big keys is you kind of want to get Buccaneer Bebe out relatively early in the fight, because you're going to need her to start getting kills. That's the big key with her, is she needs to be starting to build up kills to get her buff for the extra damage that she outputs. Now, this deck is pretty inexpensive, and it's pretty balanced in a lot of areas. There are going to be some cards that you can kind of intermingle and interchange around a little bit, and I'll talk about that again when I break down the deck here, when I break it down here towards the end. But I'm just again kind of showcasing the deck itself. So I mean, you guys can obviously pay attention to the cards that I am casting to see kind of what to put in the deck. I think this deck is great because there are no legendary cards, number one, and I think a lot of you guys will have a lot of these cards. You may not have them to the levels I have them. I will suggest that many of these cards you're going to need to at least level 3, because as you see, all the enemies that you're facing in the higher levels, especially in episode 12, they're all level 3 enemies. So you're going to need some level 3s. And I'll kind of talk about when I break down the deck, which ones need to probably be at least level 3 for you. So I'm going to get Gunslinger Kyle here because I want him out here. As you see, Bebe only has the +9. And as you see, a level 3 Mimsy is about to come barreling at me. So I got Dog Poo. And this is where the Assassins really play well, because as you see, I'm just able to decimate Mimsy. And then now Bebe has a nice extra little buff here. So I'm going to get Clyde out here to hopefully take out either Nathan or this tower. And I really want to get regeneration here soon to keep these units all alive. So Cartman's going to call Princess Kenny out, which is the death wish for Princess Kenny is completely pointless at this point, because Princess Kenny, I mean, once he dies, it's not going to stop me from attacking, at least in the PvE sense. So I'm going to get Gunslinger Kyle out here to get a little bit of extra damage and hopefully start being able to help us wail away on Princess Kenny here. And with Bebe, with that +27 and all these other little swarm units, Princess Kenny is just decimated, no contest. And one of the nice things about this deck is once you get enough units out, you can pretty much just cycle regeneration at the end of a match. That it will be one of the card that's just right there. So every time you get 3 energy, you can keep everybody kind of alive and just keep kind of poking away. I'm just going to open up lockers. I don't really care that much with the lockers so much. I just kind of want to showcase some gameplay. But what I actually think I'm going to do for you guys is show that the deck works at level 55. So I think I'm going to go back and actually fight Cartman at level 55. But one big thing that I'm going to have to do before I do that is I'm going to have to change the deck around very slightly, because if you noticed in the deck I have Zen Cartman, and obviously since I'm fighting Grand Wizard Cartman, I can't have Zen Cartman in my deck, so I am going to change that real fast before we get into this match. At least I can show you at least a good replacement for him. So I already have 1 Jimmy, so I don't want to put 2 Jimmys in there, but I feel like I need some kind of tank. Man, I don't know. I really don't want to use Stand of Many Moons, because I know a lot of you probably don't have him. But I think I might end up using them anyways. I kind of want to make this deck something that you guys can actually... characters you actually have and can play with. Maybe a neutral card. Maybe Starvin' Marvin with his flying ability. Or maybe like PC Principal. Let's try PC Principal. I don't know if it's going to work out that well, but I want some kind of tank, and I can't use Cartman. I'm not using Mimsy. It's not happening. So we'll see if this works, guys. So again, you know, I could probably have gone with Stand of Many Moons, and maybe that would have been a better option, but I'm trying to showcase a deck or build that you guys can all play with as well, and hopefully be able to use. Granted that you've been in this game long enough to be through all these events. So you see, Cartman has quite a bit of health, 581 in it with his first bar alone. And he casts out 2-3 units pretty much right off the bat, so you're just gonna have to deal with that. So unfortunately I can't use Hookhand Clyde because he has Clyde out on the battlefield. But luckily for me, his Clyde can't charge. So I'm just going to try to get rid of Clyde as quickly as humanly possible. I need to send Butters out to deal with Timmy. So I need Timmy to die like yesterday. And now I've got this huge swarm of units now coming here towards Cartman. And Cartman's, like his little charge lightning thing does a ton of damage. As you see, my units are pretty much getting decimated by him right now. And his stand now really lowered my damage output, so now I'm hardly touching Cartman. I'm going to get Bebe out here and try to get... Friar Jimmy is the key to pretty much any deck in PVE because of his healing, his ridiculous healing ability. I'm going to get Sally to hopefully deal with Kyle here very quickly. And hopefully I can stop Dougie. I was able to stop Dougie, and as you see, I was able to also get the boost to Bebe for +9. So Friar Jimmy is getting poked really hard by Cartman, but he should be able to stay alive. I'm going to regen to keep him alive and make sure I get this first bar down. So I'm able to get the first bar down. And see Bebe back here in the back, taking no damage right now currently from Cartman, which is huge. And hopefully she can take out Jimmy here. And there's the +18, so there's a nice start. I want to get Dog Poo out here, so when Randy puts his spawns his... Oh, he's not going to spawn his cock, so that's good. I'm going to get Clyde out here to deal with Ike, because I want Ike dead. And there's that, so that took Ike out. Now I've just got Bebe out of range, and as you see, she's just poking away at Cartman. And look at the range that she has. Cartman's doing no damage to her at all, which is huge. Now I'm trying to get Kyle out here, so I can get Kyle's buff, but it looks like Craig is going to kill Bebe before, but I was able to get the second bar down, so that was nice. I need to deal with Kenny. Okay, so there's Ike, so he now does no damage. If I do the damage boost, does that matter? Well, I mean, it lowered that. Alright, I feel like Nelly would be the best choice here to deal with both of these units. And she can distract Shield Maiden Wendy, so I can use Benita Sally, hopefully to kill her. But Tweak, unfortunately, used his Warcry ability to give her a nice little health boost. So she's going to be hard to deal with. I need to get Dog Poo out here to take down Wendy, and then I'll get Choir Boy Butters to support him. Now I've got a decent little push. Dog Poo will probably die before he even attacks Cartman, but I've got Butters wailing away. If Butters can get 2 hits before Rogue Token takes him out, that's still okay. As you see, I haven't used PC Principal at all yet, but probably not necessary in this deck. I probably could have gone with something else. Maybe a Purify would have worked well to deal with the shields and stuff. I really need to take care of Dougie. So I was able to take care of Dougie. That was huge. Ike is definitely going to die before he gets to Cartman. So not really worried about Ike right now. See if I can get Clyde to deal with Stan before he uses that passive or Warcry of his. So I was able to take him out. That's huge. Now I'm going to regen. I think these two guys can maybe take Cartman out by themselves if the regen keeps them alive. And it looks like, if not, it's going to be extremely close. Clyde, one more hit. Come on, Clyde. Oh, so close. Let's see if I can get Bebe to deal with the magic, with the Cox magic stuff. That kind of worked. Now I want Wendy out in front to distract Randy. And my own electrocution are killing Randy's little Cox things before I'm able to stop them myself. Okay, she did get killed at one of the rats there, so that was huge. And now I got Butters coming in. He should hopefully be able to take Timmy out fairly easily here. I'm getting Kyle to get the boost here to damage. And look at Baby, plus 66. So she'll one hit right there. There's the win. So this deck works, guys. PC Principle was probably completely worthless and not necessary in this deck, but this deck's pretty strong, guys. It's strong, it's effective, it works in a lot of different scenarios. So now I'm going to quickly go ahead and talk about the deck real quick, kind of give you some suggestions for replacements, things like that. Alright guys, so here was the deck that I used. As you see, an energy cost of a 2.8. You've got Hookhand Clyde, Gunslinger Kyle, Calamity Heidi, Buccaneer Baby, Dog Poo, Nelly, Bandita Sally, Smuggler Ike, Choirboy Butters, Friar Jimmy, Regeneration, and Zen Cartman. So, you know, suggestions that I will make of cards that you must have in this deck to be effective. This deck really shines well with Gunslinger Kyle and Buccaneer Baby as a combo together. And Nelly is probably one of the MVPs of this deck, especially in episode 11 and in parts of 12. There's a lot of swarm units, a lot of underpants gnomes, things like that, and her area damage spinning attack is very undervalued. I would highly suggest you keep Nelly in your deck and keep her because there's a lot of rats. You're going to deal with some swarm units multiple times throughout the course of your episodic gameplay, so I would keep Nelly in there. She's not 100% necessary, but she's very useful in a lot of areas. I mean, one that's extremely replaceable, obviously, is Zen Cartman. If you're fighting against Cartman, you must get rid of Zen Cartman because then he's a worthless card to you. You can use more range, maybe Manifesto, maybe Nathan, maybe something like that. I would suggest using some kind of tanky style unit, whether it be a tank itself with maybe Bar Brady or, you know, PC Principle or something like that, or another fighter. Get another fighter, maybe Shaman Token. You know, there's a few options there with that. You need at least a few of the, I would suggest having the assassins that I have in here, Bandita Sally and Smuggler Ike, because they're easy to obtain, they're cheap cost, and they do a good amount of damage. Choirboy Butters, I really love a lot. I think he's a very strong card, especially in PvE. He's good in PvP as well. Friar Jimmy is a must. He is a must. He is one of the strongest cards in the game, and one of the strong, especially for PvE, because of that health regeneration aura that he has of constant healing. He's got good health and pretty good damage for a, you know, for a fighter card, and you need him. I'm telling you guys right now, Friar Jimmy will save your life, especially for those of you that don't have really strong legendaries. I mean, a lot of people to get to these higher levels are using legendary cards, using Man Bear Pig, using things like that. I don't have Man Bear Pig, so to me, Friar Jimmy is the MVP of my PvE experience. If you're struggling in PvE, if you're getting caught, level up Friar Jimmy. You need him to level 3 at least. I'm telling you, you're going to need that level 3 ability because he'll have a +4 heal aura once, I think right before level 3 or midway through level 3's leveling him up. That you're going to need that. You're going to need all the extra healing you can get. Regeneration is a near must in this deck. But pretty much the Gunslinger Kyle with Buccaneer Baby, they have slow attack speeds, both of them do as ranged units, but they do a lot of damage, especially when you get her buff of her passive where she basically gets that every time she gets a kill she increases her attack, which as you see with her next level up I'll get it to +10, which would be amazing. And then with Gunslinger Kyle with his passive to increase a 48 attack boost for 3 seconds to all people on the battlefield for your team. It's just devastating. You're giving that extra damage buff to both of them that they can just snipe away. And as you saw, she can attack Cartman out of range of him attacking her. So she can just stay alive and just poke away at him as long as he doesn't do his energy explosion thing. But I think this deck really, really works, guys, if you utilize it well. I think in the last event, a lot of people were talking about getting a lot of Hookhand Clydes. I've got enough Hookhand Clydes to get him level 3. As you see, I need a couple more upgrade items to get him to level 3. He doesn't need to be level 3. A level 2 will suffice for him. But your 2 range units, Gunslinger Kyle, Buccaneer Baby, idealistically you'd want them to 3. Not necessary. At least 2. All of these cards need to be probably at least level 2. You need at least level 2 cards to fight in these higher episodic levels. Except for maybe Man Bear Pig, you can have a level 1. But if you don't have these guys to at least level 2, then you need to grind until you get to that point. That's going to be a big suggestion I'm going to have for you guys. But yeah, I think this deck is great. I think it works. Again, Wizard Cartman, some of these cards are replaceable, but as you see, no legendary cards. There are 3 epics in my version of this PvE deck. This is not the most perfect PvE deck out there. So I know some people are going to give me suggestory options. I know a lot of people are talking about they don't like adventure cards. I honestly didn't either. But this deck is simple, it's easy, and a lot of you guys that don't have a lot of these higher level cards or a lot of these rarer cards, this is a pretty simple deck that can be built for you guys. Again, you're going to need some luck with the epics to hopefully get them to at least level 2. And then beyond that, the commons, there's a lot of commons, a couple of rare cards, so a lot of these are very easily upgradable, obtainable for you, to where you can easily get them to level 2 and 3 before you start jumping into this game mode. But again, let me know what you guys think of the deck. Let me know where you guys are stuck in PvE. If you need any more suggestions, I will give them out. But this is a deck that I think will be very easy for you guys to obtain, outside of, Buccaneer Bebe, who's probably not available now since the event is over. Maybe she is. Let me know if she is. But until then, and until next time, guys, my name is Drewzy.